Hey, Frontline Football. You might have heard that the free agency window opened up yesterday, and just like most teams, I've actually gotten a new look over this free agency period. So, yep, shave the beard. Welcome to Frontline Football. Your own place for your news, rumors, updates, and highlights across the NFL season and off-season. And roll the intro.
Welcome to Frontline Football. Uh, I hope that you like Josh's new look. Josh, you're going to start us out with players that were cut.
So, first, heading into the players who were cut, we have both Chiefs tackles from their team this year. We have Kevin Zelter, we have Trey Turner, we have Casey Hayward. So I will hand it off to Jack for his take.
All right. As for these cuts, first off is the Chiefs cut both of their tackles. This is kind of a crazy move, in my opinion, as it's almost as if they saw Mahomes in the Super Bowl without his tackles and they wanted to see more. It's a little strange, but they do some stuff to adjust the O-line a little bit in free agency, but this one's still a bit of a head scratcher for me. I get clearing cap, but I mean, that was your starting tackles and you didn't even get one. As for Kevin Zeitler, that makes sense from the Giants. They don't have a lot of money and they need to improve. So that made sense. Kevin Zeitler struggled, and he is, as you'll see later, he gets picked up. He is more made for a contender team who can take on his contract and have a chance to win a ring. As for Trey Turner, he's been a solid guard for the last 5 years, but he struggled in the latest one in the Chargers. He is now out there. No one signed him as of yet, I believe. And last but not least, the final cut is Casey Hayward, who is also he's an older cornerback from the Chargers who's yet to get signed yet, so that's something to keep an eye on here. What are your thoughts on this, Zach?
Well, let me check that again. Chiefs, they didn't make a very good decision cutting both their tackles. I know that they just fixed one of their offensive line problems, which we will be talking about later in the video. But Casey Hayward, what team did you get play for again?
Chargers.
Chargers. Okay. Well, Casey Hayward, he's a good offensive lineman, and yeah, it's some of these makes no sense, but if the team wants to do this, except the Chiefs, this is just very stupid on them. They're almost to the Super Bowl, and the reason why they lost the Super Bowl is because they had no offensive line for Patrick Mahomes. Now they're going into this season with what? Did they just sign one guy? Now they have to rebuild this line, and that's harder to do than just keep it the same. Josh?
I think that the Chiefs right here, they were feeding into the fans' lies of Mahomes lost the Super Bowl because of his offensive line. So they decided to do what would make the fans most happy. Now, most times I do agree with the fans, but whenever you're focusing on bandwagon fans here who have clouded judgment because they believe that the quarterback is the greatest thing since Tom Brady, you're going to have some problems here. Now, I believe that with that, it was a terrible move. You overpaid for a guard, and the best chance that you'll probably get to be getting somebody is your first round pick, which means that you probably could get Wyatt Davis or somebody in that range who's a tackle, which is not the best of the best. You're going to be getting one of the top 32 guys in the draft, but you don't even know if he's going to be successful like these people were. So I just think that this was a terrible move by KC. With Kevin Zeitler, it makes sense. He had an off year this year, but he'll probably bounce back, and the Giants don't need that right now. Trey Turner, I believe that this was a good idea to try to get him out and get somebody new in. While he did only allow one sack last year, his stats have been going down, so hopefully he gets picked up by a team. And Casey Hayward, he just did not have the year like he used to. So this will be a good signing for somebody, but this was a good move by the Chargers with both Trey Turner and Casey Hayward being cut.
All right. Jack, have you said your take yet?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Jack, you ready to read off that huge list of players that were signed?
Yep. I am ready to go, folks. Today we're going to give you the latest updates on free agency as of Tuesday, March 16th, 2021 at 8:25 p.m. Central Time. So let me begin because I'm in for a long list. First, Mark Ingram is signed with the Houston Texans. Second, Hunter Henry is signed with the Patriots. Emmanuel Sanders to the Bills. Corey Davis to the Jets. Gianno Smith to the Patriots. Matt Judon to the Patriots. Gerard Davis to the Jets. Joe Thuney to the Chiefs. John Johnson is going to the Browns. Corey Linsley is going to the Chargers. Yannick's off to Vegas. Ronald Darby's going to the Broncos. Bud Dupree's to the Titans. Carl Lawson's to the Jets. Shaq Griffin's to the Jaguars. Mike Hilton's to the Bengals. Tack McKinley's going to the Browns. John Ross to the Giants. Andy Dalton to the Bears. Tyrod Taylor to the Texans. Marvin Jones to the Jags. And last but not least, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Fitzpatrick has signed with the Washington football team. All right, since I just talked a lot, I'm going to let Josh open this one up. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first I'm going to be covering the Texans signings because I am a Texans fan. So first, with the Mark Ingram signing, this seems really good because now you have David Johnson and Mark Ingram on the lineup. Now I'm guessing with one of their third-round picks, which they have, they will probably draft somebody, a project running back in the third round to replace these guys because both these guys are on one-year contracts. So watch out for the Texans. And with the Tyrod Taylor sign, it's just showing that Watson is having some insurance just in case he decides to want to trade and they decide to trade him. They have Tyrod Taylor, and I'm so confident about this move because we're going to get a young rookie to start once Tyrod Taylor gets injured or benched. And let's go on to the Patriots. How the heck did you guys get that much money? You signed like freaking 7, 8, 10 free agents. Where'd you get all the money? And how'd you sign every single player? Now, I don't believe that this will make the Patriots contenders, but I do believe that they will be competitive in the AFC East race. So, finally, Bud Dupree to the Titans. That was a good move. You need some defense, and you got it with Bud Dupree. So I will hand it off to Zach for his take.
All right. Well, what was it? I don't understand the Chiefs with their Joe Thuney signing. I understand that they need offensive line, but I don't understand how they got out of their cap situation. John Johnson to the Browns. That is a very good move by the Browns, and he'll be a great safety for them. Yannick Ngakoue to the Raiders. The Raiders need to work on defense big time, and he's a great run stuffer that will stop the run. With Bud Dupree, Titans need to work on that defense, like Josh said, and they just got a great defensive player in Bud Dupree. With Hunter Henry to the Patriots, I don't understand it. He's the best tight end, and they haven't had good tight ends since Gronk, but they literally just signed someone like a few days, like yesterday, so I don't understand this move. Maybe that they want another tight end so they can run a 2 tight end system. Matt Judon to the Patriots. I don't understand that either. Gerard Davis to the Jets. I like this one because they need a linebacker in there, and he's fine there. And then finally, there's like Corey Davis to the Jets. I love this move. The Jets need receiver help right now, and I think Corey Davis or Kenny Galladay would have gone to them, and they chose Corey Davis. Jack, your turn.
All right, so first I'm going to go for the aspect New England. They are insane. That was a lot, and that felt like a lot. So first off, Gianno Smith and Hunter Henry, you're doubling up on tight ends, and they're both going to be top 10 paid in their positions. A little bit of a head-scratcher to me, to be honest, but maybe they think they can run 2 tight end sets to get the most. They also signed Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, so that's some weapons. Matt Judon, I guess he's going to play what Trey Flowers did up there, and he's going to run the D-line. So I guess that one kind of makes sense. But overall, New England went on a spending spree. I think it kind of shows Belichick is just ready to go. He's going all in. He's probably almost ready to retire at this point. So he's going to sign everyone he can, take advantage of no one having money for the most part, and get the job done hopefully sooner than later. As for the Jets signings, I like this offseason so far for them. Corey Davis, he had 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Very solid. And I think him next to Denzel Mims could be a great duo for the future quarterback of the Jets. Carl Lawson's great. He leads the league in pressures for the QB, something the Jets have been missing for years. Then put him next to Quentin Williams. One of them's bound for a huge Pro Bowl and breakout year. And last but not least, Gerard Davis is a solid linebacker from Detroit. He didn't do much because Matt Patricia was there, and he really held him back. So he's got a high ceiling potential, and he gets to play next to C.J. Mosley. And I'll go over a couple more moves. Shaq Griffin to the Jags and Mike Hilton to the Bengals are both solid signings to bonify a cornerback group. And I'll go over the linemen. Corey Linsley to the Chargers. I really like that one. Herbert gets some much-needed protection, and you draft a tackle, and the Chargers are going to be up and running. And Joe Thuney to the Chiefs. I don't understand it. Like, Thuney's the best guard in the free agent class, don't get me wrong, but you still haven't solved tackle. So what's going to happen from here, that's a complete unknown. I don't 100% get the Thuney signing.
All right. Well, now we're going to talk about re-signing players. Matt Milano got re-signed to the Bills. Newton got re-signed to the Patriots. Aaron Jones somehow got back to the Packers. John, what was his? Feliciano got re-signed. Kyle Juszczyk, Shaq Barrett, uh, Jason Vernet, and Leonard Floyd, and finally Gronk. Josh, you want to start out with this story?
I guess so. So, first, with Matt Milano, that was a great signing. You need linebackers to help your team. You were almost a Super Bowl team last year. I believe this year that you guys will make the Super Bowl. This is a good roster, and it's starting to shape up to be one of my favorites in the NFL. So, next, with Aaron Jones. This was a head-scratching move because you just had his contract off. All you needed to do was draft somebody like Najee or Travis Etienne or one of the North Carolina running backs or the Memphis running back. All you had to do was just draft somebody. You did not have to pick back up Najee. Najee is going to be regressing, and you paid him a lot of money.
You mean Aaron Jones?
Yeah. You paid Aaron Jones a lot of money that you could have spent somewhere else. Now, John Feliciano, this was a great move by the Bills again. Just like I said before, Super Bowl team. Now, let's get over to Juicy Juice. He is a good fullback. He is one of the only ones that I'd say that you must re-sign because he is that dang good at what he does. Shaq Barrett, this is an amazing thing because the Bucs, if they keep most of their core, besides Ndamukong Suh, all they have to do is draft a defensive tackle in the draft. They will be a Super Bowl team next year. With Tom Brady, with everybody, that will be a Super Bowl team. So do not sleep on the Bucs, and let's try to run it back, Bucs. And finally, Jason Vernet, or a couple more. Jason Vernet, he was a good signing. Great thing to re-sign. He had a great season. And Shaq Lawson, great to – oh, wait, no, that was trades. I'm sorry. Leonard Floyd was great, and Gronk, that is great because Brady needs his partner in crime. So I will hand it off to Zach for his take.
All right, Aaron Jones. I like this because they need a good running back, and I don't think A.J. Dillon is the right answer. And Aaron Jones has a little bit of extra. He has a little bit of he can be reliable in the passing game and the running game, so that helps a lot. They could have gone Travis, Najee, or any of those guys, but I don't think that they would have gone for that this year. This year's draft is more for the future of the Packers, so they're going to be going for people that they don't need to win now, but they need it for a few years from now to win now. Gronk, that's a great re-sign. He'll stay with Tom Brady and try to go back for another Super Bowl. Kyle Juszczyk, I mean, he's the only fullback I would really re-sign ever because he's really good in the passing game. He can run the ball too. Shaq Barrett, very good linebacker. He can do it all. He can go in coverage. He can go man to man, and he can blitz the QB very well. And then finally, Matt Milano, also great linebacker like Shaq Barrett. He can go man to man. He can play zone, and he can rush the QB very well. And yeah, Jack.
For our first re-signing, I like Matt Milano. Him and Tremaine Edwin, it's Tremaine, make a very solid linebacker duo up in Buffalo that kind of run the defense. As for Cam Newton, I think this will be his last chance. They got him a lot of weapons. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. There's no excuse anymore. New England's line's always been solid. Oh, and Josh disappeared. Okay, I'll just keep going. New England's line's always been solid. Cam, this is your last chance. Got to get it done here. Aaron Jones, it's a bit of a head scratcher for me. I understand the idea of locking up Aaron Jones, but you drafted A.J. Dillon, you had Jamal Williams as a cheaper option, and you could have drafted someone maybe in the mid-rounds like Kenny Gainwell and run a running back by committee. Just felt like if you were going to draft A.J. Dillon in the second, maybe it was a bit of mismanagement of resources. You could have gotten a receiver there instead if you were going to just re-sign Aaron Jones for 4 more years. But I still think they're going to make it work up in Green Bay, and they're going to try to get a ring. John Feliciano's a really solid guard for Buffalo. Big fan of them. Big fan of the re-signing. Kyle Juszczyk, this is the unsung hero of the 49ers run game. This is what makes it tick. This is what makes it move. So this is a very solid signing. They needed him back. He is key to running the run game. Shaq Barrett, obviously, he is a top edge rusher in this league. Tampa needed to keep the band together, and they did a great job somehow locking Barrett up. Romeo Okwara from the Detroit Lions. He's a pretty underrated name. Not a lot know about him, but he had an 11-sack year last year, and it was kind of a breakout year for him. I didn't expect him to shake loose because of Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. They're really player-friendly, and I think Okwara's going to thrive in their new system. As for Jason Verrett, he re-signed with the 49ers. He was finally able to stay healthy, but he's going to sign another prove-it deal 1 year. If he can stay healthy again, he's probably going to be looking for a nice payday. I like Verrett. He was able to stay on the field, and he's been very good as of late in San Fran. Leonard Floyd, though I believe he may be a little bit of a product of Aaron Donald because of the threat alone, he is a good edge rusher in the Rams. I think that it's good the Rams locked him up. I think he's better next to Aaron Donald statistically as anyone would be, and it's good to keep this guy around. And last but not least, Gronk. Gronk wasn't going anywhere else. That's the bottom line. That's how it's going to roll. I'm a big fan of Gronk. Somehow Tampa kept the gang together. Sue and AB and Fournette seem to be casualties that may not make it back.
All right. Well, I guess, do you want to cover the next trade story, Jack?
Yes, since Josh has yet to return to the Google Meet, we shall continue with trades. So Shaq Lawson for Bernardrick McKinney. That's a Miami to Houston. That was a trade today. Marcus Cannon, right tackle of New England, is also going to Houston for a late round pick. Danielle Hunter is expressing his request for trade rumors to get out of Minnesota over contract issues. Zach Ertz is given permission to shop for a trade. And last but not least, Malcolm Brown, New Orleans Saints defensive tackle, is signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, and Josh has returned. So we'll give him 1 second to get back in.
Yeah.
Do we gotta do it over again, or?
No, we're still
No,
filming.
we're rolling.
All right.
Oh,
Okay, now that Josh is back, do you want to open us up? What are your thoughts on the trades?
okay. So let me just get back to the document. So the trades that have happened are Shaq Lawson to the Texans for Bernard McKinney and a couple pick swaps. We don't need to hear about that. And also Marcus Cannon to the Hunter trade rumors. Zach Ertz is probably going to get traded. And Malcolm Brown to the Jags. So I will hand it off to Jack for his thoughts on the story.
All right, as for Shaq Lawson for Bernardrick McKinney, I think this is good. I believe that Houston switched defensive schemes, and I think they're going to ship people like Bernardrick McKinney and Whitley Merciless out to get more scheme fits like that, so I think that's a move I expect, and I think that makes a lot of sense for Houston. As for Marcus Cannon, Casario connection is kicking in. He's going to be a very solid. I think he's a tackle as of right now, but with Titus Howard and Laramie Tunsil, I believe he may switch to guard, but either way, it's a Casario lineman. It's a veteran, and I think it will establish the Casario way, especially in the line. As for Danielle Hunter trade rumors, I think that's something that any team would love. Danielle Hunter is a very underrated pass rusher, and that's something to keep an eye on, meaning that the Vikings are in the market for, or they could draft an edge rusher this year. As for, let's see what's next. Zach Ertz, I do expect him to be traded. Philly's falling apart. I'm not sure to where. Buffalo could be an intriguing option as they're a contender with a need at tight end. I forget Buffalo's tight end's name. Dawson Knox. I think that could be a solid duo, and Ertz could establish that tight end room as a whole. And as for Malcolm Brown, that gives some much-needed help to the Jags D-line to help out those edge rushers, and I think it makes a lot of sense coming from both sides as the Saints continue to march their way to zero in the cap. What are your thoughts on this, Zach?
Well, I'm gonna talk about the Shaq Lawson trade. It's good for the Texans. I think, yeah, they are changing defenses, so probably if this guy's a good scheme fit in this defense, they should have gotten him, and they did. Danielle Hunter trade rumors. I think it might happen. He's a very good pass rusher though, and that's what I'm hesitant about. Um, but I don't think he had that good of a year this year. I think he'll do well wherever he goes, but um, if he doesn't leave the next year, he will most likely get traded if he has an off year. Zach Ertz, I am expecting him to get traded or his deal get restructured, which I don't think the Eagles would restructure his deal. So I think a team that would probably take him is like the Dolphins or something like that. They have a lot of cap. They'll probably take a good tight end to work with. And then finally, Malcolm Brown to the Jags. I like it. It works. And Josh, you want to say your take?
I think I think first with the Shaq Lawson trade, this will really help with one being in the new defense because our last defense was a 3-4. This one's a 4-3, so we're going to need people to fit that scheme of Lovie Smith. And I believe that this also helps because Shaq Lawson is from Clemson and did play with Watson, and he has talked about bringing the band back together in Houston. So this may help even with the Watson stuff with him staying. Very unlikely, but still may happen and gives me a bit of hope every single day. So, McKinney, yes, he was starting to age a little bit. So this was good that he was sent off to Miami to play in a new system. So good luck, McKinney, and welcome to Houston, Shaq Lawson. Next with Marcus Cannon, I think that this was a move to try to help the Texans' O-line and also get one of Casario's guys in the building because this offseason has been getting a lot of Ravens and Patriots players and players who have been in this Casario and Culley system. So I think that this will be a great move for the Texans, establishing some interior linemen. This guy may be a tackle, but we'll probably move him to guard and help Watson or whoever our quarterback is next year have his protection. Next, the Danielle Hunter trade rumors. Anybody would want Danielle Hunter. This is a great thing for every team but the Vikings. So, great. So, just be on the lookout for what's going to happen there. The Zach Ertz rumors. This will be good for a team that needs a tight end or needs somebody to come in and help their younger tight ends learn the league. And also, his contract is only $8 million, so it's not as much. And also isn't guaranteed money either. So, if you need to cut him, you can. Or trade him off. You don't have that much of a cap hit. So, finally, Malcolm Brown to the Jags. This is a great move on the Jags' part. So, those are my takes. Zach?
I already said my takes. All right, with our final... Wait, Jack, did you say your take?
Yes.
Okay, with our final story today, it's a very sad one, and Saints fans are still very sad about it for this whole week. Drew Brees' retirement. And I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
All right. Drew Brees has retired after, I believe, 20 years. This is a sad moment for the Saints as they are finally, after years of Brees, 15 years to be exact, have to go their separate ways. Drew is off to retire, but this was going to happen sooner than later. His arm has been regressing for years. He's just slowing down, and it really sucks that no call years ago, that was probably his last shot to really win a second Super Bowl, and he didn't get there. This really sucks for the Saints. They're going to now have to figure out Jameis Winston's coming back, so Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston are going to fight it out for the couple years. I think the winners of this is probably Tampa, as though Drew's physical abilities were regressing, Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston are going to take time. I believe Tampa will take the South, and the Saints, I think they'll start out slow, but once they get a rhythm, Jameis or Taysom, I think they will heat up towards the end of the season. What are your thoughts on this, Zach?
Well, I think that the Saints, in my opinion, this is not even a hot take, but I don't think they're going to make playoffs with Jameis or with Taysom. I think that they're both very inexperienced. Taysom only plays he's played quarterback a few times when Brees got injured, and then he didn't even play not this year, but last year when Teddy Bridgewater was on that team. He wasn't the starter. Teddy Bridgewater was, and I don't think Taysom will like bring this team any further. And with Jameis, I don't know. Jameis, maybe if he can turn his career around and start doing really well, maybe. But I don't think so. Jameis is a pick machine. And I know it's Bruce Arians' system that did it, but still, I don't trust this. I don't think they're going to make playoffs. The only way that they will because of Alvin Kamara. Josh?
I think that there's a very sad moment in New Orleans today. Just the realization of you won't have a quarterback next year like Drew Brees, who was a first ballot Hall of Famer, who I do believe the later part of his career was wasted by the Saints because they tried so hard, but they could just never get past either the divisional or conference. So good luck in retirement, Breeze, but this is going to be an uphill battle, Saints. You guys are kind of, to put it plainly, you guys are kind of messed up. You have negative cap. You're going to have to find a new quarterback. I don't think Jameis or Taysom is going to be it. Taysom Hill, well, he's great at every other position. He's 30 years old. He's 30. Jameis is not far behind. He's in his 20s, 25, 26, somewhere around there. So you guys do not have a young quarterback, or you guys are going to need a new quarterback. And unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to find one quite like Brees again. It's just sad to see that Drew Brees' only championship is now in scandal because of Bountygate. So good luck, Saints fans. Good luck on watching, and good luck on your season. Did everybody say their take, or
I haven't.
you haven't said your take?
I don't think so. Oh, wait, yeah, I did.
Jack, did you say your take?
Yes.
Okay. So, we have been Frontline Football. Like I say every single video, don't forget to hit that like button, push the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and once you hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, you join the Frontline Football fan base. Frontline Football fan base is up to date on all their news, rumors, updates, and highlights across the NFL season and off season now because they watch Frontline Football. Can't keep track of all the free agency stuff? Just come to us every single Wednesday. We will tell you about every single thing that is happening in free agency. So don't go anywhere. And after this, we have draft analysis. We have schedule reveals. We have predictions. We have everything. So keep on watching. Don't forget to do that. And if you like what you saw here, don't forget to hit that like button because that helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. Sharing the video with your friends expands the audience and helps us, well, one day reach the level of monetization. But I have been Frontline Josh, and I just have one more thing to say, like I always do. Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FrontlineFB. Too lazy to do that? Awesome. I have links for you. As free agency is kicked off this week, it's going to be tough for you to keep track of your favorite team signings, so we're going to give you every single one. We're going to keep you updated, and you don't really care about every single one? Well, you only want to be curious what's the key takeaways and biggest impacts? Well, good news. We're giving the key takeaways and biggest impacts on these free agents too. So if you want to stay updated on free agency, you got to make sure you're here weekly. We're giving you every free agent signing that we can think of, that we know of. It's going to be busy. It's going to be big. Things are continuing to fall in the NFL world. There are trade rumors, there are free agents, and there are still a lot of people out there. Come back here when you want to know where Kenny Golladay signs. He's still out there. Juju, Will Fuller. There's a lot of receivers still out there. There's a couple solid linemen out there, and we're on top of it. We're here for you. We're going to be here, and we'll see you guys back here next Wednesday for the latest in free agency.
Yeah.